What is up, guys? In today's video we have a brand new Fortnite update. This could end up being the last major update of season 3, and we actually have a decent amount of content in this update. If you guys do enjoy this video, find it informative or helpful, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and if you would like to use me for support or creator, my code is EvolveJake. If you use that in the item shop, I'd much appreciate it. So the first thing we got in this update is going to be the Shadow Wild Week. So from now until September 7th, we have the silenced SMG, the silenced assault rifle, the shadow bombs, and the shield bubble unvaulted in all like core game modes. It's not in competitive, but in normals it is there. And the silenced weapons are actually pretty interesting. So the Suppressed Scar has very little bloom for the first few shots, and then after that, it has much more bloom than the traditional Scar or traditional AR. So the best way to use this weapon is to tap fire it or to shoot it in short bursts. I always enjoyed this weapon because it had an interesting bloom mechanic in that way. If you shoot it properly, you're gonna have a really accurate weapon. But if you shoot it improperly and you just full spam all the time, you're going to have a weapon that is far less effective than other assault rifles. So I really liked that this Suppressed Scar had less RNG to its bloom if you used it in the proper manner, and it is a fun weapon to use. The Suppressed SMG was an interesting weapon back in the day. It was more of like an SMG AR hybrid, but leaning more towards close range. It had a decent damage range, decent fire rate, and very little bloom. And I would say this could be used with something like the heavy sniper if you wanted to run heavy sniper, suppressed SMG, and then whatever your shotgun is. But I feel like the hammer AR and the combat AR also fill that void just fine. So while the suppressed SMG is a good weapon, I feel like it's not really going to be a better SMG than the Stinger SMG, and it's not really going to be a better hybrid weapon than either the combat AR or the hammer AR, which is kind of in a weird middle ground right now with the meta, so I don't expect this to be used too much. The shadow bombs are basically a grenade that you can throw down and turn into a ghost, and then you go really quick. You have increased jump, height and duration, and if you bounce off of things, you can have some cool stuff happen. It's a decent mobility item. It was really useful in build mode back in the day. I feel like in zero build, it won't be that useful because there's less things to kind of parkour around, and just getting high ground isn't as important. But you can make some sneaky plays with this, and if you need to get into a position late game or just get across the map rather quickly, the shadow bombs can be pretty helpful. Shield bubbles, I feel like, are very self-explanatory. You throw it down, and there's a shield. Nobody can shoot out, nobody can shoot in. If you want to put it down so you can heal or not get third-partied, it's good for that. But I don't like shield bubbles as much as something like the Portafort, because you can't really throw this down and then create a position of advantage in the sense that you can with a Portafort. You know, if you throw down a Portafort, you can play off that Portafort to win the game. Whereas with a shield bubble, you're really just delaying fights. It could be good at limiting third parties, but it's just not personally my favorite item. I think you can also put it on cars. I don't know if they patched that, but in the past you could put it on the drift board, and I would imagine you'd be able to put it on cars as well, and then you could drive around while being protected, and that is a decent way to rotate across the map if that's something you really needed to do. The next change is going to be unfortunate for a lot of you, I'm sure. I've just been seeing constant complaints about this ever since they came out. And that is going to be that the Dragon Ball Z items have not been vaulted. So the Kamehameha and the Nimbus Cloud are still in the game, but they're spawning at way lower rates than they were before. So there's less capsules coming out of the sky, so there should be less people using them, but they're still in the game, and I know this is going to upset a lot of you because I know people have been complaining about the Kamehameha ever since it was added. Personally, I think it was very easy to play against, and the only times I died to the Kamehameha in the entire Dragon Ball Z 2-week period was when I made a mistake and I made a dumb play, and then I died because of it. I never felt when I died to the Kamehameha that I got cheated or it was just so overpowered. I always felt oh, I was just stupid there, I shouldn't have done that. But still in the game, it's going to be less frequent, and that's a good thing. Personally, I didn't mind it too much, but I know a lot of people hated it. Late game arena is back, and there are some OG weapons in it. Most notably, the pump shotgun is in late game arena. At the time I'm recording this, there's only trios of late game arena, but I believe solos are also set to go live later on. And if you don't know what late game arena is, it's basically a game mode where I think you and 60 other people start out on a smaller portion of the map. You basically start out at in-game, but you have to drop and land and claim your spot where you're going to go. You already have maps and you already have weapons, and it basically, shortly after you land, moving zone starts. So it's a good way to practice in-game, and if you are someone who wants to get better at build mode, I think late game arena is one of the best ways to practice. You can just get in fights quickly. If you die, you just go next. It's whatever. You don't have to spend all that time looting or farming. And I feel like you can play a little more aggro and get in more fights, because the downside for losing isn't as big of a deal as like a normal BR match. If you play BR and you spend 15 to 20 minutes looting or whatever, and then you make it in game, a lot of people want to win at that point, and they feel like it's kind of wasted if they die. But with late game arena, you can just constantly get in and out of fights, and a lot of the people that play this game mode are really good from my memory. From how it was last time, it was a really, really sweaty game mode, and that's what's going to help you get better. Fighting better players consistently and learning from them, and just getting beat and learning from those situations and going next, and just being able to get in as many reps as possible is what is going to make you better at the game. So I quit playing the game for most of Chapter 2, and when I came back in Chapter 2 Season 8, late game arena is one of the things I played a lot to kind of help me like get good or get like comfortable with the game again. And if you are someone who wants to get better at build mode, or you're trying to get used to new settings or whatever, late game arena can be a really good game mode for you. It's not a zero build game mode. It just really wouldn't work. You would just have a bunch of people dropping into an open field and then trading damage. Like it'd be really lame. So it's only a build mode. You can get the pump in here. I think there's also potentially other like OG weapons or vaulted weapons that aren't currently in the game. But if you are someone who enjoys building and you enjoy build mode, this is a really fun game mode. Personally, I don't play it too much. I don't like playing it on stream because it's very intense and high action, and that makes it like really hard to read chat. And I don't like streaming and just ignoring chat. So it's something that's fun to play off stream for me, but it's not really something that I enjoy streaming. But it's a great game mode, and I think it's a great practice tool for a lot of players. The final thing we're going to talk about in this update is going to be some collabs. So tomorrow we should be getting Assassin's Creed skins, according to Tom Henderson, who is like a very noteworthy leaker in like the gaming sense or gaming community. Oftentimes with Call of Duty, he has leaks that are like pretty spot on, but he's just some sort of gaming insider that gets intel somehow. So we're getting an Assassin's Creed collab tomorrow, and then Starfire on September 2nd, which I believe is a Teen Titans member. Don't quote me on that. I don't know anything about superheroes, but yeah, so we should be getting some new Assassin's Creed skins. I'm sure that's going to be cool for some people, and then Starfire skins as well, if that's something you're into. These collabs are strictly going to be cosmetics. I think there's not going to be any sort of like overpowered mythic items associated with them. So if you like them, get the skins, cool. If you don't like it, don't get it, and that is what it is. So that is going to be it for today's update. We have the Shadow Wild Week, which in my opinion will probably be one of the better Wild Weeks. Both the Suppressed Scar and the Suppressed SMG are pretty fun to use, and like I said, the Suppressed Scar has an interesting bloom mechanic that makes the gun like pretty skillful to use, in my opinion. The Shadow Bombs will be pretty useful mobility. Shield Bubbles, I'm sure a lot of people will like those to limit third parties. We got Late Game Arena, which is a fan favorite game mode for like the competitive community and people who enjoy building. And then we also got some collabs coming in the near future, as well as the Dragon Ball Z stuff spawning at a lower interval than it was before. I think that will help kind of limit how irritating it is for some players. But that's going to be it for this update and this video. This should be the last major update of this season. There will likely be another update in a week or two. We only have 19 days remaining in the season. But there likely will be another update, but it's mainly going to be for event or concert related things. We don't really know if we're going to be getting an event or a concert this season, but there is a smaller update planned. And typically when they have those like little extra updates at the end, it's because they want to have something for an event, but they don't want to put it in the game so early that it gets leaked. So that's my guess with that update, is that final update is going to be something for an event, hopefully, or a concert maybe, but personally I'm hoping for an event. Let me know what you guys think of this update down in the comments below, and would you rather see a story related event or a concert to end Chapter 3 Season 3? Thanks for watching.